And they just say that whenever something makes them feel uneasy, when like there's a American flag
Well,
in the
it's
same
because,
room where
yeah,
someone's
they
like
have an
saying a
issue
prayer.
of Christians being political is what it
Right.
is,
And they
which I
have,
think
and
is ridiculous.
of course. And what that reminded me of when I was getting so irritated, I was like, how can this happen? How can this happen? And then I realized it's because we have removed God so much from everywhere in the country that now the idea of being, like you said, like political and a faithful Christian at the same time doesn't sit well with people because we've taken God out of literally everything, even churches. I mean, we're not even preaching the gospel anymore. We're just saying things that make people feel good. And so there's a fundamental misunderstanding about how throughout all of history, men and women have been called to go into political areas and speak truth into those areas. God literally ordains it, and it's in the Bible, and it's all throughout history. This is not new, that people can exist as two things, political beings and Christians. It doesn't surprise me that leftists are doing this and having this reaction, but it does surprise me that Christians are. And it makes me sad because it's a sign that we have a fundamental misunderstanding about what it takes to impact culture and government and laws and legislation. So that's where I'm
Well,
at on
I
it. I
think
don't,
very much one of the issues that we've had over the last few decades is the fact that Christians have taken themselves out of politics, and
right,
they have taken their faith out of their politics.
right. Yes.
You know, I'm sorry, but what ends up happening, that is one of the reasons that we have seen this rise that has happened through legislation or through
Hmm.
movements,
Yeah.
or abuses of legislation, like, the abuse of Title IX and everything, is because we have taken ourselves out of the politics, and
Yeah.
we're afraid to, you know,
Assert
make
our belief
political
system.
decisions
Yeah.
based on our life choice, like how we would live our lives. And
Right.
that's why we've seen an erosion of religious liberty
Well, and that's why
where,
now all of this bad legislation is being passed and people, Christians, start going, wait a second, wait a
well, wait
second,
a
wait a
minute.
second. And it's like, well, you pieced out and you handed over the reins and didn't want to talk about your religious beliefs that are fundamental to your core humanity. And this is what's going to happen. And so now there's a quote unquote revival because everybody's going, well, it wasn't working the way we were doing it. How about we just get honest about what we believe and let's talk about it? And people are hungry for that now. And my hope is that there's this whole group, this whole segment of society inspired by someone like Charlie Kirk. I hope they all find Bible believing, scripture preaching churches so that they can be powerful in both word and deed and their understanding of, the foundation of Christ's love for us.